Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all of you. How are you all doing? Hello, Unes. Hi, Ritik, Pontunjay, Dev, Ishita. I'm happy, Ishita, that your exam went great. बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत ही बढ़िया. I hope it is actually making you feel better than you were already feeling last time. I know that you guys are feeling a little down, a little low. So I hope that that's good. Right. Hi, Gaurav. I know that a lot of you have your plenty of things coming around. बहुत कुछ uh, चल रहा है in the sense that you are coming closer to the board part of your life. Also, you have your some of you have your exams also for Christ, etc. सब कुछ है, I know, but I hope that this little class brings a little, let's say, a sigh of respite for you for a bit before you get back to studying yet again. Okay. So what am I going to do with you today? I am going to obviously pick up some few words, random videos, random ideas of those words. And for the mentee part, I have something different in mind today, right? So probably I will tell you when I reach there, I talk about it then. But right now, all you really need to do is know is that 5 words we're going to be doing today, and we're going to be talking about them using some really small, tiny videos. Well, accounts ka practical hai. Oh God, so Raghav, I'm going to make sure that I wrap this up as soon as I can. Okay. Hello, Komal. So, all right, this is where I am going to now show you the part where we'll be discussing about the words. So I'm sharing the screen with you. Let's see what's the first word. Here you go on your screens, the first word. So pehle word ke liye you have to see that we're going to talk about something here, of course. क्या है ये आपको मुझे बताना है. The purpose behind watching this is that, of course, we know what we're going to be talking about. You know that this is going to be about young Sheldon, right? But what I need you to tell me, however, is how would you describe both these kids in the video? Okay, so you will have to tell me how you would describe both these kids in the video. What words would you use? So it's not just about young Sheldon, but there's another girl that's in the video. You need to tell me adjectives that you can use for both these kids, right? One is better than the other. That's how it is. Hello, Bhavna. Hi, Utkarsh. Hello, Ansh. Hello, Ishan. I'm perfectly fine, thank you. Chalo, let's start with this video then. Let's hear what this person has to say. You will obviously tell me what are the adjectives you can use to describe these two kids. Okay, here we go.
Yes, we'll be discussing deriving nuclear physics from the quark model. Do you know if he'll be doing a full color octet calculation with matrix manipulations? I do not. Do you know how to differentiate under the integral sign?
Okay.
No.
So, Astha says young Sheldon. Yes, this is young Sheldon. And S says bizarre. So, Aryan says precocious. Right. Okay. What else? What other words can you think of for these people, these kids who are really, I mean, not according to their age, I think, right? Dhruv, hi. So, how would you describe these two kids? Like, they're not talking about usual candy, toffee, that kind of things. At their age, we used to, I remember I used to eat mud and chalk and powder. मतलब मैं इनकी एज में ये सब कर रही थी, while these people are talking about quantum physics and all of that. So how would you describe a prodigy? All right, very good. Hello, Tanya. Math phobias. Phobia तो मुझे है, हाँ. Nerds, studious. All right. So I'm going to give you geeks, prodigy. Prodigy is a good word that you guys are using at the moment. So I'll probably be taking up from there. We're talking about this word called precocious.
Yes, we'll be.
Okay. So precocious, premature, nahi, but mature before age. Yeah, I mean in that sense, premature is a little different in meaning. Right, so we're going to be talking about this as the word precocious. You're going to remember precocious as this word basically mnemonic aid mein agar aap yaad rakho, तो a child who's probably pre-cooked. Okay, ऐसा बच्चा जो पहले से ही पका पकाया मिल गया है पेरेंट्स को, so they don't really have to do a lot of मेहनत on them, right? We don't have to probably talk to them about certain things because they're already well taught on their own. So pre-cooked, that means cooked much before their normal time. So they are cooked much before their normal time, basically means that they were mature before age. They were showing early signs of mental development and achievement. or they were advanced, they were prodigious. All right, so you can think of prodigious also as another word that you can relate from here. Why would you eat chalks? Like, I used to love I love eating chalks. Matlab, that was that one thing that I could really be like, that was my drug for me. I used to love it as a kid. I don't know why I used to do that, but I did. I used to love eating chalks. Anyway, so a precocious child, she went to college at the age of 16. So a person who was at the age of 16 would probably be doing high school, but this precocious child who is mature before age and showing early signs of development and achievement, that person went early. So a lot of times you might have heard that a person had skipped nursery, skipped towards 3 standard and went directly to the next standard. Why? Because the teacher saw that he's just too brilliant to be in this class, all right, and that he knows pretty much everything. So sab pata hai, to fir why should we waste his time one whole year in this one class where he knows everything about it already? So in that sense, those kids who skip classes and go to the next class, they get promoted easily. That is what precocious would mean. All right. So Aajkal, you can think of every kid being precocious. You'd see that all your young kids right now these days, they're playing with phones. They know how to operate phones. They know how they can dial, open YouTube, do this, that, and everything else. So kids आजकल की time पे as compared to the kids from the earlier times, they're precocious because they're showing early signs of maturity in their age. Okay, Mr. Big Bang, you ate chalk. ये सुन के मैं चौक chalk and मिट्टी. See, there are people. Shriji also used to eat chalks. I've started a conversation here about this, but बहुत delicious होती है. Yes, Tanya, I agree with you. It's actually, and some people say that it's actually very rich in calcium. So I think Ishan, you should try. खा सकते हो आप एक बार. Okay, so precocious is an adjective. One thing that you see here is an OUS. OUS at the end gives you that it is an adjective. Advanced as a word has ED at the end, also an adjective. What we're describing in the sentence is a precocious child. So we're describing a child and saying how is that child? The child is precocious. Right, so that was the first word. Pre-cooked se aap ise yaad rakhoge, and then multiple ways that you can remember it using young children or the kids of today. That was first. Now let's go to the second word. Now for the second word here, I have on the screen this one video that I'm going to show you. So आपको ये video देखनी है. Now maybe I don't know if you've done this word or not, but let's look at it. एक बार पहले ध्यान से देखते हैं कि ये word क्या है, and then we will discuss. So here you go on your screens. Let's watch. You have to obviously tell me कि ये जो ब्रांड का मैं एड दिखाने वाली हूँ आपको, उस ब्रांड का ना नाम चेंज हुआ है. Alright, उस ब्रांड का नाम चेंज हुआ है. What is the new name of the brand का ad that I'm showing you? Fine. So you need to tell me the new name of the brand that I'm going to be talking about, and then from there we'll take on the conversation. So you go on your screens. Let's hear it.
आयुर्वेद का 5000 पुराना राज है फेयर एंड लवली में.
Okay, so what do you think is the new name? They told you about the brand's name here. तो आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या नाम है अब currently इस particular brand का? What's the new name? Calcium नहीं चाहिए. No, chalk with bhindi. Chalk is more delicious than that. Okay, Hindi chalk. Glow and Lovely. Okay, perfect. So, Glow and Lovely ho gaya hai, Shriji, very good. And the thing that I'm talking about here is, of course, this particular brand is problematic, not just with the concepts that it kind of promotes, but it's also grammatically incorrect. I mean, glow is verb and lovely is an adjective. You can't put these two together. There's no parallelism in your title. So, well, then your brand is as bad in concept and theory as it is in grammar, I think. Right, so glow and lovely hai up currently. Now let's talk about the word glow per se. When you talk of glow, you basically mean gleaming, shining, all right, and radiant. So that those are the words that I'm going to be talking about. जब आप बोल रहे हो glow, तो के लिए हमारे पास word है effulgent. And आप इसके लिए another word that Shubham has also given us is effulgent, which is also correct. Effulgent भी आप इसे कह सकते हो. A lot of times refulgent का resplendent भी मानते हैं बहुत लोग, जिनको लगता है कि resplendent basically is again something that's very beautiful because it glows, right? So glow and lovely के लिए now you can think of it as refulgent and lovely, and that would probably be grammatically correct as opposed to glow and lovely, which is not. So refulgent and lovely कैसे आप रख सकते हैं mnemonic aid में? If you can remember refulgent as detergent which makes your clothes refulgent. अगर आपने कोई भी ऐसे टाइड का, सर्फ का या एरियल का किसी का भी ऐसे एड देखा होगा तो यू मस्ट नो दैट एक वॉश में ही एक बेसिक सा व्हाइट कपड़ा स्टार्ट शाइनिंग लाइक it has halogens inside of it, right? So you can think of every detergent ad talking about how their detergent makes the cloth go shining brightly and radiant and refulgent. So that is one. ठीक है? Refulgent pronouncing like detergent, yes. So refulgent makes clothes refulgent. That means detergent is basically making your clothes go bright, shining, radiant, effulgent, and resplendent. Resplendent also is basically when you're talking of something that's very attractive and appealing, right? In terms of it being very beautiful and gleaming and shining and all of that. So everybody admire the beauty of a refulgent face. Now we're talking about refulgent face here. We mean glowing face, right? So glowing face, now face with a lot of radiance, with a lot of positivity, all of that is refulgent. So adjective hai because one shining ing, right? Apart from that, you see that ent jahan pe bhi hota hai, so that is a noun. I'm sorry, that's an adjective और उसका noun हो जाता है ence. तो generally अगर ent is adjective तो उसका noun हो जाता है ence, which becomes a noun. So confident is an adjective, confidence is a noun. Similarly, refulgent is an adjective, refulgence is a noun. Okay, so on and so forth. So adjective hai also because we're describing the face. I'm saying that the face glowed and shone brightly and it was effulgent and so on and so forth. That was the second word. So abhi aapko samajh mein aa gaya. Ye first word was again when we talked about a prodigy in that sense. So precocious was the first one, refulgence the second word. Third pe chal rahe hain ab. Let's see what the video is on your screens. Here we go. Okay, so I'm sure you must have seen this movie. There is no points in guessing which movie I'm going to be talking about. But you need to tell me when you watch this movie or when you watch this particular scene from that movie, you need to tell me how would you describe this man in the whole movie. Like it's not just about this one scene. This is just like a small teaser from the video from the movie. But you know how this person is in the entire movie and it's pretty problematic as well. So he probably picks up his bike to beat somebody here or then beat somebody there, so on and so forth. You need to tell me what are the adjectives we can use, especially from this video. Here we go.
Manjari, madam का खास ख्याल रखना. She's our VIP patient.
ट्रेन में वाटर लेवल बढ़ी है तुम लोग ना? हाँ? ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में फर्क समझ में नहीं आता है? वाइट लोग काम नहीं कर रहे तुम लोग क्या? हैरान है तो सब काम हम भूल जाएंगे हम लोग? What's the first thing you do when a patient comes to the hospital? हाँ?
Okay. Dhruv hasn't seen this one yet. Okay. Well, I'm sure you're not missing anything here, honestly. Dipsomaniac. Okay, but what about this particular video? I mean, yeah, he was a dipsite, but then in this specific one, possessive, hostile, belligerent, aggressive, misogynist, yes. Impulsive, dipsomaniac. All right. So I'm going to be talking about how you saw that he was initially when this particular scene started off. I'm sure if you have seen the movie, you'd know that this scene started off with a very normal, basic expression on his face because there's this patient who's going to enter. Now, when this heroine enters, all right, he really starts losing his shit because his assistant keeps referring this woman to as the VIP patient. He loses it, all right? So he loses his patience so much that we can actually call him volatile, okay? We can call him volatile. So somebody who is violent could be volatile. In terms of their temperament, if a person's temperament is changeable, if a person's temperament is so unpredictable that you really can't know कि अभी ठीक है and suddenly उसका mood खराब हो जाए, so that's volatile. Also, when somebody becomes very angry and violent. So pugnacious truculent, aggressive, belligerent, impulsive, tumultuous, ये सारे words absolutely correct है. बस यहाँ पे एक चीज है कि when a person is pugnacious or when a person is truculent or aggressive, you know it from the very starting. This person is truculent. He can be aggressive and he can be angry. Volatile is when a person is normal tempered but he loses his temper. So short tempered is absolutely correct, right? So likely to change suddenly, become extremely angry or violent is volatile. He had a volatile temper. It's difficult to live with him. So a volatile temper would mean that a very short temper, very changeable one, बहुत ही moody है, right? In the sense that he can change his temper so quickly and so often that it's almost very difficult to keep a track of when he can be happy and when he can be sad, right? So a temper that's unpredictably violent and a temper that's unpredictably angry, that is what volatile is. Okay, so truculent, belligerent, aggressive, maybe there are some trigger points where you can actually kind of preempt कि okay, this person is going to get angry now. That is when a person is short-tempered. Volatile is when you have no track, when you can't tap on where and where will he get angry. Okay, I hope that that difference is clear, right? He's also a bacchanalian, yes, absolutely. वो गाना याद आता है, अभी जिंदा हूँ तो पीली ने दो. मैंने ये गाना नहीं सुना है. But yeah, it's an adjective because when we're describing the temper, right, we're talking about how a temper that's likely to change. So we're talking about how we can describe the temper, or we can talk about how Kabir Singh was volatile. So he also was likely to change in his temperament. So that was the third word. Fourth पे चल रहे हैं. Let's look at what the fourth word is on your screens. Here we go. Fourth word के लिए I'm going to show you this one video. All right. You will see that we have this Jerry person going up and down because of music, right? So we're going to be thinking about a word that we can relate with his movement of up and down. Okay, तो इसका जो movement जो भी आपको इस वीडियो में दिखेगा, इसके हिसाब से we'll come up with a word related to it. So let's talk about this. Okay, so you see that Jerry, the way he's just going up and down, right? जिस हिसाब से ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है, rising and falling. इसके लिए we have a word which I'm going to show you. But before that, Parus भी जो adverb कैसे होगा बेटा volatile का? Volatile is not describing how a person does an action. It's not describing an adjective. It's not describing an adverb. Okay, adverbs are basically that which describes a verb, adverb or an adjective, right? Now this is a temper को describe करने वाला word. Volatile is a temper को describe करने वाला word. So if I'm talking about a volatile temper, temper being a noun, so volatile be an adjective. ठीक है माने? All right. So I don't like Jerry, but I mean, I pity him here because वो तेज उसका चलो बजा रहा था, but this person actually fell off. But then the word we're going to use up and down के लिए, we can use the word undulate. Undulate is basically to move up and down or to rise and fall. ठीक है? You can remember undulate as fluctuate. Mnemonic aid में आप undulate को fluctuate से भी याद रख सकते हो. जब voltage fluctuate करता है, it goes up and it goes down, right? So that's why most of your appliances start probably flickering because the fluctuation is up and down of power or up and down of the voltage. Similarly, undulate is also moving up and down or to rise and fall of anything. Okay, so maybe yeah, right now when we saw that video, Jerry was undulating because he was rising and falling. We can think of, let's say, the stock exchange or the stock market undulating because it was rising and falling throughout the day. So it was undulating throughout the day. Or you can think of the keys of the keyboard undulated. If you've seen a harmonium or if you played the piano, you'd know that whenever you play the keys, उसके पीछे जो keys होती हैं, especially the पीछे वाला area, it keeps moving up and down. So that's undulating, right? So it's a verb because we're talking about an action that the keys do Okay, it's an action that the keys of the keyboard did. It's because it started with 2. Jerry was also undulating. So also here, when we talk about undulate, we speak of how Jerry was moving up and down or doing this action. क्यों मैंने undulate नहीं कराया है? I haven't done this word. Up and I have not done this. Probably may have done it with Ashisa, but I haven't done it. Krish. And let's go to the last word for the day. Let's see what the word is. I'm going to talk about this word here. तो पहले आपको ये वीडियो देखना है. Watch the video, then we will discuss about this one word that he uses. But first, watch the video carefully. You have to look for a word that is similar to the word impious. Okay, या फिर impiety. आपको अभी मुझे एक word देना है इसके लिए. इस word के लिए you have to give me a word in the video, from the video, ठीक है? And then we will discuss. Here you go on your screens.
मत भूलिए पेशवा कि धर्म सबसे बड़ा होता है, आपसे भी बड़ा. ये अनर्थ करने को कह रहे हैं और हम उसे मान ले.
Okay, what do you think is the word impious and impiety के लिए? क्या word use किया उसने? And a very common word from Hindi. And हमने ऐसे serials वगैरह में we've heard of this word called अपशगुन, right? वैसा कुछ word है ये. But what is the word in the video? What's the word? Ungodly. Very good, Asa. Unearth. Very good. So unearth is the word unearth, yeah, apshagun. All right, that's what impiety or being impious really means. So I'm going to talk about this word here in front of you. You're going to talk about the word blasphemous. Okay. Now blasphemous is exactly what impious is. Blasphemous is exactly what unearth and ungodly and apshagun means. Mnemonic aid में आपको क्या याद रखना है? Blast famous godly ideas. If you blast famous godly ideas, मतलब आप normal godly ideas के against जा रहे हो, तो उसे अनर्थ, अपशगुन and all of that कहते हैं. तो अभी इसमें अपशगुन ये था, in that particular scene, was that this person was saying that we have to name this guy or his baby who was born out of marriage. Okay, or a marriage that at least this person did not consider right and righteous. So blasphemous is unearth, blasphemous godly ideas, blasphemous ideas that would otherwise respect the religion. So meaning of blasphemous is showing no respect for God or religion. Unholy, ungodly, impious. All right, so all of that is blasphemous. Her blasphemous speech caused her to be shunned by her fellow church members. Meaning kya hai? Her blasphemous speech. Now we're talking about a speech that was maybe going against God, was ungodly, unholy. Maybe that speech was impious. All right. Maybe her speech was blasting famous godly ideas and going against religion, and that's what blasphemous really means. Adjective hai because obviously the first thing that you see is OUS at the end of this word. So clearly it's an adjective. Apart from that, you see ing hai, right? And what else you see is that we're talking about the speech here, speech being a noun, and we're saying how is the speech, it's blasphemous, so it's disrespectful towards religion. Chalo, that was our last word. Let's now go to the quiz part of today. Ab chalte hain Menti part pe. All right, and I'm going to share on the screen the Menti thing for today. Here you go. Let's do this. So today, आज का जो Menti है is going to be a little different. इसलिए different होगा because today I'm going to be talking about majorly figures of speech. Figures of speech, I am sure आप लोगों ने आशीष सर के साथ किए हैं in one of your live sessions. I saw that you did a bit of figures of speech with him. So that's going to come in handy here with all that knowledge that you've gained from his session, and obviously some things that you've also done in school. So this is going to be a nice, easy one for you, I guess, because they have not included the complicated ones as of now. So the code is 54819-461. Not an atheist, but unhallowed. Yes, that's true. Okay? Atheist is a person who does not believe in God. Blasphemous is the act of not respecting God. So a little different, actually. right, people are starting to join in. Let's all come into this menti part. Important because we're talking about figures of speech today. So I just needed you to know where are you at in terms of figures of speech and how much more effort and knowledge you need to do or gain in that realm. So 54819461 is the situation. No homage. Okay, that's correct. ठीक है, चलो बहुत ही बढ़िया. I have 65, almost 63 people already here. All right, chalo. Let's then start discussing on your screens the first question. Here we go. पहला question आप लोगों के सामने. Let's do this. Kashish, I think it's previous year something. So you need to identify what is the part of speech, the deafening silence made for a perfect respite from the noise of the city. Okay. Let's talk about these two, onomatopoeia and oxymoron. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is that word जो basically are sound words. Onomatopoeia are sound words. जैसे pitter patter, raindrops, that kind of a thing. Or when you use the words like hiss, or when you say buzz, or when you say meow, or when you use the word woof, ये सारे are onomatopoeia. These are sound words describing sound. But here in all of this, you don't see any sound words given, right? And that's the reason why we can't probably be talking about this as onomatopoeia. Now, what about oxymoron? Oxymoron is basically two opposite words put together. Two opposite words put together is what oxymoron is. And if you look at the sentence, it says deafening silence. Now, silence is shanti. Deafening, generally, we use the word deafening for something that's very loud. Okay, we use the word deafening for something जो इतनी तेज हो कि आपको it probably goes, you probably go deaf because of its volume. So deafening silence is basically opposite words. Deafening is loud, silence is absolutely no sound. So a loud, absolutely no sound is what deafening silence is, an oxymoron. A lot of people say happily married is an oxymoron because happily is opposite of the word married. I mean, yeah, whatever. So that's what oxymoron is, when you have two opposite words put together. Let's look at the leaderboard now. Let's see where is the thing happening, who's topping at the moment on your screens. The first thing, leaderboard. Okay, so who's Super King? And then Shreyansh, and then Raghav, Ash, Aryan, and then Aryan again, Apurva, Taru, Manik, and Kapoor. Wow. Chalo, pehla tha ye. Ab chalte hain next question pe. On your screens, let's see whether what's the next question. So read carefully, answer, and then we'll discuss. Here we go. Okay. What do I do with all your love? What do I do with all your love? Metaphor or rhetoric? Right, okay. A metaphor is basically comparison, right? Metaphor is basically comparison, but without the words like and as. Metaphor is comparison without like and as. Okay, so if I say she is the sun or she is the sunshine of my life, I am saying she is the sunshine of my life. That means it's a metaphor. If I say she is like the sunshine of my life, then I'm using the word like, and that would have been a simile. जब आप comparison करते हो with like या फिर as, तो उसे हम simile कहते हैं, right? but without like and as हम उसे metaphor कहते हैं. So she is like the sunshine. That's a simile. She is the sunshine is a metaphor. Let's talk about rhetoric. Now, rhetoric is a type of question. It's a type of question which doesn't need an answer. Now, rhetoric is a question that does not need an answer. For example, when your mom tells you, have you lost your mind? You don't go around telling your mom, have you lost your mind or not? Okay. You don't go around telling her, I think I have, or no, I haven't. You're wrong. You don't say that. Okay. या फिर अगर मम्मी कभी पूछे कि पढ़ाई अच्छे से नहीं कर रहे हो, फ्लाइंग चप्पल खानी है क्या? So you will not say yes, obviously. But if you say no, your mom will anyway hit you. So it's a rhetoric question. It's a question which does not need any answer. Okay. So if somebody comes and asks you, are you mad? You don't go and tell them yes or no. I mean, that's not what they're wanting you to do. So rhetoric questions are questions that do not need an answer. All right, or do not expect an answer in return, because there's no right or wrong answer. Now, if, for example, let's look at the sentence. It says, what do I do with all your love? Now, if I start answering you, if you want to do something with my love, I think you should do this, I think you should do that. It will sound so stupid because it's not a question that needs an answer, and it does not even have an answer, right? Also, explain oxymoron, Riya. Acha, oxymoron beta, jab do opposite words साथ में हो, तो loud, silence. देखो ये दोनों opposites है ना, loud and silent, they are opposites. So this is an oxymoron. Similarly, when I talked about you know, words like what do you call it, so I would say happily married, वो भी oxymoron है apparently, because they are two opposite things. Or you can think of let's say freezing fire, या फिर burning cold. So you see that they are actually opposite words. Freezing fire is an opposite word. Burning and cold are opposite words. And that's what oxymorons do. They put two opposite words together in context. Okay? I hope that that's clear, Riya. Ab chalte hain next payment. Related to an influencing speech, I guess. Well, not necessarily. Rhetoric cannot just necessarily be about influencing speech. It is any question that does not have an answer. Okay, so rhetoric can also be a way of writing. That's a different thing. But because of speech, mein aapko ye dekhna hai ki it's a type of a question. Okay, let's look at the leaderboard now. Here we go. Then Raghav's taking the lead. Sorry. Ashwin taking the lead, Taru second, Aryan third, Raghav fourth, Ishan, and then Asta, and then Dhruv, and then Aryan, Apurva, Divya. Perfect. Very good. Let's go to the third question now. Let's go to the third question and see kya hai ab. On your screens, here we go. I have died a million deaths waiting for you. Wow. Okay, so it is hyperbole. Absolutely correct. Hyperbole is basically exaggeration. Hyperbole is exaggeration. किसी चीज को बहुत ही बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलना. Drawing the long bow, right? That's what hyperbole is. बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलना. Now, obviously, million deaths, dying a million deaths, ये बहुत ही बड़ा exaggeration है कि ओहो मैं तो 1000 मौत मर गया, 1000 बारी मर गया. Are you serious? Okay, so that is what a hyperbole would be. Hyperbole is when you're exaggerating. Onomatopoeia, like I said, they're sound words, तो यहाँ पे उसका कोई भी connection नहीं है. So your answer is hyperbole, and 58 people have answered it correctly. Let's now look at the leaderboard and see what's the status there. All right, the status for the leaderboard here on your screens now is that. All right, so Ash still on top, then Aryan, then Raghav, Taru, then Aranigam, Ishan, Apurva, Arshita, Asta, and Prerna. Okay? चलो अब चलते हैं fourth question पे. On your screens, let's look at what the fourth question is. Here we go. Fourth. Manik, absolutely. 1,000 times to complete your homework. And that's just like probably 2 times. So yeah, hyperbole. I'm aware of the fact that I'm unaware. Okay, so it is a paradox. Paradox is when you are contradicting your own self, when you are contradicting yourself in a sentence. All right, that's what a paradox is. Oxymoron are, like I said, only two opposite words together. All right, like I said, freezing cold, I'm sorry, freezing fire or burning cold. Those were opposite words together. Paradox is when you are contradicting yourself. I'm aware of the fact. मैं जानती हूँ कि मैं कुछ नहीं जानती हूँ. Okay, so this is you contradicting yourself. If you don't know anything, but you're still saying that you know something, right? You see the contradiction here. Do you see that there is a paradox? There is a complete turn of events. So I'm aware of the fact that I'm unaware is a paradox because you are saying that you don't know anything, but you know something. Kind of messed up. But that's what paradox is, all right? When you're contradicting yourself, आप अपने आप को negate कर रहे हो in the same sentence, that's what paradox is. अब चलते हैं leaderboard पे. Let's see what the leaderboard is on our screens. Here we go. कौन है अब? Aware and unaware are also opposite words, but they're not put together. They are not put together, Sangeeta, and that's the whole point. Oxymoron में वो दोनों साथ में होते हैं, not separated between clauses. Okay. Aryan on top now. Ash second. Ishan, then Apurva, Arshita, Prerna, Asa, Dhruv, Prableen, Harshita. Perfect. All right. Perfect. Then let's go to the last part of the quiz, the last question. Here we go on your screens. Let's do this. Fifth question. She is like the moon in all its glory. Metaphor or simile? This one's an easy one. I've just discussed this with you. Okay. She is like the moon in all its glory. We're using the word like, so clearly this is a simile. If I were not using like, if I were saying she is the moon in all its glory, अगर मैं like हटा देती तो ये metaphor होता. अगर मैंने like हटा दिया होता, then this would have been a metaphor. But because यहाँ पे like है, इसलिए हमने यहाँ simile लगाई है. All right, so she is like the moon in all its glory is a simile. She is the moon in all its glory is a metaphor. चलो last था ये. अब leaderboard पे देखते हैं क्या scene है. Okay, Aryan, looks like you are on. Oh no, Ashran is on top now. Perfect, congratulations, Ash. Second is Aryan, third is Shan, Ashita, Apurva, Prerna, Asta, Dhruv, Harshita, and Manik. Congratulations, all of you. Manik, आ गए आप 10th पे. बहुत बढ़िया. You don't have to think about 11th now. You're here. All right, let's give big congratulations to all of these 10 students. It was a fairly different quiz because we've not probably done it officially in any of our classes except once with Ashish. So I hope that you get to have some more idea about, let's say, part of speech. Let's probably think of sometime next day. That's maybe on Wednesday. I'm going to pick up figures of speech. The ones that are a little complicated, maybe. We're going to be discussing that, and then we can have another advanced level figures of speech ka quiz very soon. Okay? Chalo, all the best, all of you who are studying for any of the exams that are coming in. Take care of yourself. Be good. Stay safe. Good night. See you.